Welcome everyone to Startup Duniya, showcasing the incredible journey of startup. I am Yogesh Bhosle, co-founder and CEO of SMEVenture. And today I am pleased to welcome Mr. Nicky Sehwani, Chief Growth Officer of LenDenClub for our today's episode. Let me give you a small introduction about Nicky. He's a senior business professional with 20 plus years of leadership experience at Fortune 500 MNCs. His expertise lies into startup and strategy, business development, marketing, sales, product, and P&L management. Welcome, Nicky.
Thank you, Yogesh. Good to be here and to be chatting with you.
Yeah, great to be is with you. Today we will deep dive around the new age form of lending and how LenDenClub is acting this trend of lending. So we'll be asking few questions around this. So what is P2P? Elaborate this in a bit.
Yes, Yogesh. So P2P lending in very simple terms is just a process of, a borrower and a lender coming onto a platform, and the borrower who's in need of funds making his request on the platform, and we have investors on the platform who will fulfill it. So it's only so to keep it even more simple, it's a process of lending and borrowing on a platform or a marketplace, right? Without using a bank or a financial intermediary,
Okay.
uh, right? So that's how it works. So just like you have a marketplace of e-commerce companies, right, where you have merchants and customers, right, on the platform. Here it's a marketplace connecting borrowers and investors. And here the due diligence is then done of the borrowers is done by the platform,
Mhm.
which is us, right? And then they are listed on the platform for investors to directly invest in these unsecured loan requirements of the borrowers.
Okay. So other lending avenues are also there in the market. So how the P2P lending better than those?
See, P2P lending, so it caters to a kind of, so I'll tell you the advantages. In peer-to-peer lending, essentially the process, especially for LenDenClub, is we are into digital lending, right? So
Mhm.
the entire process is online and it's a very seamless process.
Mhm.
So a customer or a borrower is able to apply for a loan just by uploading his documents and some of the data points that we capture.
Mhm.
Right, the entire process takes anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes, and if it's all good, the loan gets disbursed in the next 30 minutes as well. Right, so the process is seamless compared to traditional, intermediaries where there's a paperwork involved. The entire disbursal process would take anywhere from 2 days to a week's time.
Mhm.
Uh, Secondly, the way we are differentiated is we also cater to segments which are not traditionally, catered to by banks or maybe a large NBFC,
Mhm.
right? So the credit market potential in India is huge. So there are various segments. So you have to find your own segment. So every P2P platform in India as such is trying to create that segment, whether it's you go after the salaried class, for example, and give them loans only up to 25,000, which are not given by banks or NBFCs. So that's one. Or you cater to the MFI segment, or you cater to the merchant segment.
Mhm.
Right? The merchant segment is also a very tricky segment for banks and NBFCs because they typically want to lend out money to those who have a bureau. Right?
Mhm.
So, in a nutshell, uh, there are customers who are new to credit, right, on the platform, right, or they are not creditworthy as per the assessment done by banks and by the larger NBFCs because they want to get uh, into credit worthiness and do it only for a premium segment. So
Mhm.
that's where platforms like us, step in to cater to the needs of such borrowers, right? And also and disburse the loans quickly to them. It's not that we compromise this. We are more nimble because we also, being a new age startup, we are able to capture a lot of data points or like metadata or app data,
Mhm.
which typically is not catered to or done by banks and NBFCs. in a similar fashion. So at LenDenClub, for example, we capture over 200 plus data points when we give a loan to a borrower.
Okay. So Nikki, you just said we are a platform for customers and investors. I'm just curious about like who are the customers, if you can, of yours for LenDenClub. Who are the customers and the investors? Can you please little bit throw light on it?
Right. So we have borrowers. We cater to various segment of borrowers. So we have we have customers, and they are in two parts, right? The borrower segment and the investor segment.
Hmm.
So borrowers are typically those who are in need of personal loans, right? So these personal loans could be a use case would be advance salary, could be
Hmm.
for a medical emergency, could be
Okay.
a loan to buy a consumer durable or a mobile phone,
Okay.
could be to
So he could be
to
anyone, like a salaried person and the self-employed type.
correct. But at the same time, to profile it, this is someone who's earning typically 3 lakhs to 7 lakh rupees, on the salary side, because we are giving loans up to 25,000 on the
Okay.
platform, right? And so this is one segment. The other segment would be merchant post loans that we cater to. So these are merchants, right? And where we partner with other companies,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that company's got to given a POS, so that's the point of sale terminal given to the merchant. So when
Hmm.
the merchant is using that to collect payments from customers, we have visibility on what are the kind of volumes he's doing, right? And what is the tenure that he is with the company. So on the basis of such parameters and various other parameters, we assess him, and then along with our partner company, we give him a loan. The third is we cater to small businesses, as you said. So these could be, say, in the e-commerce space as well. So online merchants, again, sourced through partners of, say, Flipkart, Amazon, or any other e-com, right? Who have a working capital requirement, right? So the merchant segment is typically a working capital loan. It could also be, loans for their personal use, but for the larger merchants, it's typically a working capital, which they require to
True.
increase the business, and that's what we give. So the maximum limit on a P2P platform is 10 lakhs,
Okay.
right? So that's the maximum size of a loan that can be given to a merchant, right? The other segment that we do is, so we also work with NBFCs and MFIs and
Hmm.
cater to their customers, right?
Okay.
So that's the third segment. The fourth segment is customers in the line of credit or uh, the so-called buy now pay later space, or
Hmm.
BNPL space, right? Where again we work with a few platforms in India wherein we cater to such customers. So, and those could be spread across, uh, you know, uh, not only geographies but also across salary classes, because the benefit to a customer is different, because
Okay.
it's a pay later product. So he's kind of, it could be customers who's earning 5 lakhs, right, annually, to customers even earning, say, a crore annually,
Okay.
right? It's the convenience of that buy now pay later proposition through
Hmm.
which it's which is through which he's getting into a sort of a loan agreement.
Okay.
Because ultimately he's availing credit.
Okay. Nikki, one due to my curiosity, in fact, my viewers also wanted to know more about it, because the any lending is typically turning around the collateral. So I just wanted to understand from your end, key for the viewers of mine, the MSME business owners, for their working capital and all what we are talking about. So
Right.
what kind of collaterals you would be required for it? So that will be really helpful answer if you can give to my viewers.
Sure. So, see, as per P2P guidelines, right, laid down by the Reserve Bank of India, collateral cannot be taken by a P2P platform.
Okay,
So the loan has to be
great.
unsecured in nature.
Okay, great, great. So this is, I think, a possibility, because what everyone is facing as a business side is working capital management, and getting funds from the banks or any if you look at any policies of government also, it's very difficult because everybody wants a collateral for that. So, and there are many of viewers of mine or MSME business owners who are struggling with the collaterals. So this is, I think, viewers, this is a wonderful platform where P2P business is actually it's an unsecured loan, but of course you will get helpful side of it. You also can see the positive side of it and look into it. Going towards the next question, so why do you think the P2P business is growing as an alternate asset class for the investors, Nikki?
Right. Yes, you also see, so India, as an economy as such, right? Now we are the fourth, fifth largest in the world, right? So India's economy is growing, so the nation, there's
True.
prosperity coming in, right? So there's obviously more risk appetite as well
Hmm.
for investors coming in, and investors, have been investing in the traditional so-called asset classes,
Hmm.
which have been mutual funds, which have been stocks, right? And since the last few years, there's been a market which is developing for known as alternative, asset class or alternative investment class, right? A market. Now, what this allows an investor to do is essentially diversify his portfolio, right, and get higher returns into classes, right, which have been so-called traditional in nature. So, compared to the traditional classes, P2P investments, right, they offer higher returns, right, because here typically the returns are in low double-digit figures, and of course there's some kind of a risk associated with it, which is inherently higher than say a fixed deposit or could be even a corporate FD, right? But
Hmm.
the returns kind of compensated. Secondly, most importantly is when P2P platforms are giving loans to borrowers, right, they're keeping in mind the kind of returns which have to be given to the investors, and hence the rate of interest which is charged to borrowers factors in the return which is to be given to the investor, right? So, based on the inherent risk profile of the borrower, he's charged a rate of interest, right? And
Hmm.
that kind of covers up any NPA which might arise on the platform to ensure that not ensure or to give up to 10 to 12% returns, say in the case of LenDenClub, right? So, for example, we've been giving these kind of returns about 10 to 12%, for a product that we call as FMPP,
Okay.
which has an investment time horizon varying between 1 year to 5 years.
Hmm.
Correct. And this data of 10 to 12% is backed by the past performance of the FMPP,
Hmm.
uh, which has been closed already.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. So what kind of rate of interest do you work on with this, Nikki?
Borrowers.
Yes.
So borrower rate of interest starts anywhere from 15-16% and goes up to 30-35%.
Okay, so it's maybe depend on their credit score and
It
their
depends. It's a
annual
factor of
returns
a
and all.
credit score. It's a factor of repeat usage of that customer in terms of loan requirement on a
Okay,
platform. It also depends on the tenure of the loan, right, and the
okay,
size of the loan, right?
okay.
So typically, as a thumb rule, any loan which is of a lower tenure and a
Hmm.
lower ticket size will have a higher rate of interest,
Right. True that.
right?
True that.
Right. So this is how it works, and the rate of interest tends to come down as
Okay.
the tenure increases and the size of the loan increases.
Okay. Okay. So there are various factors who are depending upon the rate of interest, like how it varies and all. Great. So how are the Lending Club contributing to microfinance institute segment?
So we
MFI,
work.
you can call upon.
So we work with MFIs who've been catering to this class of borrowers, right? So Lending Club does not directly reach out to these set of customers or borrowers,
Right.
right? But we work with partners who are MFIs, right? And they cater to customers who fall within the gamut of the definition of MFI, set out by the regulator, right? Wherein the household income is not more than 3 lakh rupees, right? Uh, so we are catering, we are giving loans to these borrowers via partners.
Okay. So those income who's annually 3 lakh rupees you're talking about, those are your target audience for that kind of.
So MFIs is up to 3 lakhs, right? So the
Okay.
annual income should not exceed more than that.
Okay.
And otherwise, as I said, right? So there are, as I said, there are a lot of people who earn, whose incomes are in the range of 2 lakhs to 3 lakhs,
Many.
right? Or even 1.5 to 3 lakhs. So
Yes,
through
yes,
this
many.
channel, right, we cater to loans. So it could be MFIs, it could be joint group liability loans,
Mm-hmm.
right? Given as well. So it's a different so various combinations. We work
Okay.
with the partner and give loans to. Of course, and the loans are subject to the risk profile of the borrower.
Okay. Okay. So, Nikki, my viewers are more of a MSME kind of a segment, which is small and medium business owners, and you can say the retail, not a retailers, but yes, retailers also is one of a part of it. But the traders, service industries, manufacturing industries, the big, large, below 1,000 crores. So, how are the LenDenClub contributing to that kind of a segment?
So as I said, so two things. One, you have to, we have to operate within the purview of the guidelines set out by the regulator,
Huh.
right? So the maximum loan size cannot be more than 10 lakhs and the tenure cannot be more than 3 years, right? So there is a constraint in terms of giving out loans to the larger merchants or the so-called larger MSMEs,
Hmm.
right? Because their requirement could go up to 25 lakhs, 30 lakhs, 50 lakhs, right? Or going even to a crore, for example. So
Right.
we cannot do that on the platform.
Hmm.
Right? The max that we can do is 10. So we cater to, the small kind and to some extent the mid kind or the lower end of the mid kind in terms of loans. And as I quoted earlier as well, so these could be online merchants or these could be, retail merchants. Uh, which have a good track record and have been assessed and right by us for their credit worthiness, and then we cater to these loans. But presently, we are doing it through our partners.
Okay, so you meant to say the micro industry, like MSME stands for micro and small and medium enterprises. So
Correct.
micro industries also like those people who are a job workers or taking job from some other manufacturer and taking it, give it to back. So these are very small and tiny business guys who's having a turnover somewhere around 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs, 30 lakhs, and somewhere like that. So you have a different like you're treating them with along with a partner, and then the small and medium enterprises you have a different strategy altogether. So is that
Yeah,
is
so,
that what?
so correct. So in our merchant segment per se, so there are we are catering to, as I said, retail merchants. Correct. So these could be your kirana shops, also the and it could be any sizable retail shop. It could be a hardware store. It could be you know your generally convenience store or a grocery store, right?
Okay.
Who's got a POS machine, right? So he's accepting payments either through a QR code or he's accepting payments either through card or whatever, right?
Right.
So there we are working with a partner who's
Hmm.
actually, who's providing the payment gateway
Okay.
or the payment platform to the merchant through which the merchant can accept, either a UPI payment or any other
So
POS
Google
payment.
Pay or Phone Pay or these kind of.
Correct. Or any other. So our partnership is with Bharat Pay, for example.
Okay.
So we work with Bharat Pay and we cater to their merchants, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So again, their merchants who have a loan requirement, those loans get funded on a platform to some
Hmm.
extent, right? So that's
Okay.
one segment that we do. The other segment, as I said, that we do is again along with partners is where we are catering to online merchants,
Hmm.
or it could be merchants like even restaurants or some other segment, but
Hmm.
again via partners, right? But the maximum limit that we can loan amount that we can give is 10 lakh rupees.
For the micro audience you are talking about
Micro and small, correct?
and
Yeah,
small.
any
So
yeah.
What is the
any
definition
way
of micro and small for LenDenClub? Like the turnover wise,
micro is typically up to 2 lakhs kind.
up to 2 lakh is micro, you say,
Correct.
and then small
The
and
small
medium.
is up to up to 10 lakhs because beyond that we don't give. We cannot. We are not in a position to give loans due to the guidelines.
Okay, great, great. So ending with our last question, what message you would like to give to my audience?
So they should definitely look at since they are always in need of credit due to working capital requirements, right? They should explore P2P platforms as an a platform where they can uh, apply for a loan, right? The other message that I would want to pass is uh, not every merchant obviously needs a loan at every point in time. There are merchants who have separate cash as well, right? So they could also use the P2P platform for investments, right? So to corroborate this with an example for BharatPay, for example, what we do is we manage both sides of the platform for them. So we have the merchants whom we are giving loans to, but we also are catering to the merchants who are doing investments on the platform, right? So the same money that they are collecting from the customers, right, through the POS machine, is also being invested on LenDenClub's P2P platform,
Okay,
right? So there's an opportunity on both sides of the platform for both credit side as well as investment side.
great. So this is Nicky from LenDenClub, and he explained us very beautifully, like how the P2P business is now growing and how it's important for the MSME audience also, and for the layman's also, like who are looking out for some kind of a funds to develop their own business, or taking some consumer durables, or taking for the personal use and all. So LenDenClub is a very beautiful platform wherein you can use that and you can consume and without and collateral. It's a complete insecure loan which they are provide. So thanking you for your time, Nicky, and we hope you like this session. You can check this interview at all social media of SMEVenture. So please do like, share, and subscribe SMEVenture for more such videos. This is your host, Yogesh, signing out. Thank you.
Thank you, Yogesh. Pleasure to be here.
Thank you, Nicky. Thank you. Same here.